Well, good evening, everyone. It's been a while since I've made a video, and not that there's a shitload of people that's listening to it, but those that do find themselves here, welcome. You're welcome. And believe it or not, I've decided to take the gloves off, and we ain't got much time. My agenda is get as many people as I can, as much money in their pocket as they can, because the shit's fixing to hit the fan. And whatever you call work over the next couple, 3 years, damn sure looks like it may turn into something totally different. We got problems. And so what we need to do is what they tell you to do in one of them airplanes when you're flying is when the masks drop down, that means the shit hit the fan. We're going down potentially. Put your oxygen mask on first before you try to help anybody else, because you're not any good dead to anybody. So the bottom line, what I'm trying to do is I have a plan, an unstoppable plan, but it has to be worked, and it takes a lot of people to do it. But if we do that, you that I'm talking to right now, can reach heights of accumulated money then you can't even imagine. Why? What are we going to, if you want to say something, what are we going to be offering for people? We're going to be offering helping us save this country. How passionate about this country of you? Based on how passionate you are, this plan I've got will put cash in your pocket and fast. I hate to call it cash because I call it energy. But later on, when we have time to get esoteric, I will talk in those terms. Right now, I know that just like Jerry Maguire, all you want to hear about is the money. Show me the money. So I'll show you the money if you're an authentic, passionate, a patriot that loves this country based on the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and the rule of law applied to all. I hadn't got time for anybody else. I hadn't got time to be jacking with anybody. This thing will work if we work it. Now, what you're looking at here is quite frankly. If you can reach quite frankly, I'm trying to reach him. I'm trying to reach a whole bunch of people out there. I think I got Tori pretty well communicating with me, but these people are hard to get a hold of them. They got great reach. We need to get a hold of them before YouTube and everybody else knocks them off. They knocked off Amazing Polly, Sean at SGT, David X22, and a Red Pill 78. Me for a while, believe it or not, only got hell. I hadn't got anybody watching. It was cause of what I was posting. They are cracking down on us. And listen to me, the only thing that's going to matter to you at the end of the day, at the other side of this river, is how much do you have to live on. If you've got a lot and you're comfortable, or at least you've got enough to wade through until this thing sorts itself out, that should be your objective. I don't care if you're making $10,000 a week right now or more. It doesn't matter. You need to latch your wagon onto this star, because we're headed north and we're getting the hell away from all this chaos, and we're going to try to coordinate our thoughts. We're going to have teachers that we're going to listen to. This is going to be packed with value that you need. And you tell someone else about it, we're going to stick some cheese in your pocket, because we need a lot of people. Right now, I'm more concerned about getting minds, millions of minds together, and then I'll show them all how they can monetize their self. If you think you're worth a shit in researching, taking pictures, telling stories, it doesn't matter. If we think it has value, we got 1 million people, and they all have a little bit in their account that they're committing to give away, not to me, to one of you people, one of the other members. If they see value from another member, they flip them a penny, nickel, dime, or quarter. I got the thing down to science. I tell you, got it down to science, and it's tax-free. What I want to do right now is this is going to be, excuse me, arrest that man. He's coughing. I want to let you listen to a little bit of Quite Frankly. He will be one of the teachers that we will be supporting with tips. Penny, nickel, dime, or quarter. And this video is one that would render some value. Anyone that calls in, any of you members that call in when Franks opens the lines, we hear you. You tell us you was on Frank's call, that you told them you was a silent supporter. We'll know you're a silent supporter. You say something worth a hoot, we hear it. You let us know that because we'll have a forum that you can tell us. We'll go over and listen to it. If it's got value, we'll flip you and Frank penny, nickel, dime, or quarter. We're talking hot stuff here. We need it. It wasn't something that I created. I'm a co-creator with the ambient, with the firmament, with the Holy Spirit, with the in-between, whatever you want to call it. It's time for us to call on something other than what we've been calling on to get through this, to get to the other side of the Jordan. Let me shut up a second. I want you to listen to Quite Frankly. And I'll get this mic fairly well positioned to where you can hear it clearly. And then we'll come back and talk a second longer. Here we go. Frank, are you there?
I'm going to be doing updates on a lot of the Hunter Biden stuff in the second half because it was a busy weekend with all that, and it needs to be spoken about because you have to stay on pace. But at the same time, it's October. It's a very spooky month. I love this month. It is the gateway into the most cozy kind of programming that we do on this show, and that is autumn and winter programming. It gets dark early. It's nice and cold and chilly outside. We get to just cuddle up in here and just relax and talk about things that make you wonder. And we need to keep doing that along the way, or else we lose ourselves. And we cannot be sucked down under by the undertow. We can't do it. We're not going to do it. So tonight, in the middle...
Let me tell you right there, I'll stop in a second. I can't teach everybody everything. They are saying things that I would say. My demographic, I tell you what, I gotta love those friends of mine from Denver, but they need to run that one more time through the distillate process. Getting a little harsh up there if y'all hear me. Anyway, my my demographic is such that I can appeal to certain people. And when I get fired up, I appeal to everybody, and everyone says that. But this is what is needed to reach a demographic that equates to this. Beautiful setting, amazing Polly, same way. Hell, they popped her. But we're going to get everybody back together. And once we find out what platforms are on, Frank's going to find all this out. I need to get a hold of Frank. Frank, you're going to hear this. I'm going to Circle C you at you on this Twitter. On the Twitter deal, and you're going to see your face on there. You need to get a hold of me. We need you. The country needs you. Damn, the planet needs you. We can win if we get together, people, and we'll educate people. Frank's shows will be educational. He needs money like everybody else. All these influencers, John B. Wells, all these people need to be put gas in their car. If you're just sitting there wondering if this shit's going to get squared away by itself, it's not. We need you. We need your passion for this country. Don't worry about the mule. Just load the wagon. You're going to make a boatload of money because we will know you have value. That's called work. They can't stop us if I use this exponential growth business model that will make you real wealthy if you work and you're passionate about your country. I'm just telling you the truth. Because you're working, because you're going out there, you have a mission. We see that your work that you do to find others to help us save this country has value to us. Matter of fact, the ultimate value is getting more people. You see how this works. But it's been told to you in such a way in the past that every time someone hears somebody say something about go get somebody, they haul ass. Well, we can't haul ass now. We need to use that as a tool. There's nothing stronger than the word of mouth advertising if it's coming from your damn heart. And what closer could it get than saving this country? It's time that we rise up. We use every tool that we possibly can to win. Okay? We'll talk about the moon, the stars, the flat earth, everything else. That's all good. We're going to talk about those things. We need to know that. Rex Bear is going to handle that arena. And there's others like Clyde Lewis. He's been doing this for a damn long time. So is Jimmy Church. So is John B. You know, John B. slept with the lion and he came out successful. Thank God. Greyhound. Don't need the lion on this deal. Yeah, that's what I said. Don't need the line on this deal. We need people just to simply that love this country. I'll show you what to do. You do something that has value, you're going to hear cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching dropping in your coffers. But don't look back. Don't look at the wagon. Just press forward. We haven't got much time. Let me get back to Frank. That's why they call me Ramblin' Randy.
Middle of this 2-hour walk through the park, it's going to be centered by a first-time appearance by someone who I've been listening to for a long time, and that is Mr. Greg Carlwood of the Higher Side Chat. So that is what's going to be the centerpiece of tonight's show at 7:30. We'll go for about 30, 40 minutes, whatever's going on. We'll just flow for a little bit. Second half, we'll get into a little bit more headlines, and we're going to talk about the naked plays for power that's going on all around us, around the world, as the election 2020 clock continues to tick down like a time bomb. And then that's what we have. That's what we have. We're balancing it all out. Tomorrow night, Red Pill 78 is going to be coming on for the full short show. Jay Myers Documentaries will be on Wednesday, October 21st. This Wednesday, he's going to be talking about with me why this Halloween is more significant than others in the world of the occult and witchcraft. We'll talk about why it is that way and what the ramifications may be. And the subtopic that night will be The Shining, the real Shining, and how many themes in the movie The Shining related to what we're being exposed to today. So that's going to be great. Donald Jeffries will be back on Friday. We're going to be talking about the most consequential and mysterious deaths in history. So that'll be fun. And when Thursday, Rob should be here. So we have a pretty all week. It's going to be good. Next week, Claire Culwell, X22 Dave, Tony Black, the Halloween special. That's going to be on Saturday night, Halloween night. It's a very special in-house guest. I'm not going to tell you who it is yet. I'm going to string you along for one more week. Chris Ann Hall will be on with us November 2nd, and then election night is November 3rd. On November 4th, I will be putting up my...
Okay, let me just show you something about how this universe works. I myself, this is my YouTube channel. There's my little hat over there. You can see that. I didn't even know of Frank for a while back until I heard him referenced on Amazing Polly. Okay? I didn't know any of them. Now look, I've been talking to y'all. Leak Project, my lead man, Rex Bear, he's going to lead out and help me find a bunch of these people. If you can find them, I'm going to tell you right now, if you can find someone the size of, that has followings and the charisma and the passion that's in the theme of helping us save this country, like Frank or any one of these people that you see here, you find them, guess what? Your ship just arrived. Your ship just arrived. Your world will change at that point. And the reason I say that, you know how much money they're making doing what I'm going to give to you? You know how much Twitter and Facebook and all them make off the ads they run and shit stuff? Wait till you see what we're doing. I'm taking nothing, giving it all to y'all. This is something that is my role. This is my mission. I created this platform, co-created it with the universe, and I'm giving it to y'all because we need it. We need, the weapon we've got is sticking cash in these people's pockets, your pockets. Everybody raises up and takes a little bit of the fear sting out of it. And once you've got something, you damn sure don't want them to take it away from you. We're turning the tables. I'm going to show you how. And guess what we're going to have to offer for everybody? You, the value that you've got, we want to sell it. We want to offer it to the world and that it has value. Anybody has value. I'll show you how all this works. Black conservative patriot, my God, he is powerful. I can't keep doing these like this because it's going to take too long to do. I'll just show them to you. Black conservative patriot, the Crow 777, he's great. David over at X22 has been demonetized, but he's running some stuff on YouTube right now. Don't know how he's doing it. This lady right here, she'll be part of the training course that I'm going to put you through. Illuminati. She does. She breaks down the scammy MLM deals, the whole bit. There's going to be something that you're going to learn right here. You're going to see how these damn things work. However, the only reason they fail, they're greed-based. The people put them together, they're taking all the value out of it. If they didn't do that, most all these damn things would work, except they would still explode because they don't have the key to the gate that keeps it going forever and shows it to be legitimate and real. And I do. I do. I do. I've figured it out. And it has to do with passion and work. So anyway, Illuminati there. You'll be hearing about her. Jeff's great. Chrissy Ann Hall. You just heard, quite frankly, talking about Chrissy Ann Hall. I've heard David X22 reference her. I've been studying her for a long time. Lisa Haven, killer deal. Lisa's got it going on. These are going to be our teachers. Your teachers, your instructors, when you gain value from them, if there is something we'll call a tuition for this little course, you're going to give it away. Okay? Whatever you put in as your tuition, I'm going to show you how to give it away. You're not giving it to me. You're giving it to one of these people or another member of ours, could be your friend, your brother, whatever, that says something of value. We're going to tip them penny, nickel, dime, or quarter. This is going to be wild, but you got to get yourself on board. I'll be launching this thing shortly. You can go, uh, well, I won't say that right now because I have another project going that has to do with this damn Fauci and the mask deal. You would not wait till you see this. Anyway, Greg Hunter. You need to check into Greg Hunter. And this man right here, I'm going to pop over to his. This is our main man, Mike Maloney. You're going to learn so much from this series right here. You're going to, right here, see this right here? That's what you call serendipity. What just happened just then is the universe. I was thinking about showing y'all exactly how this damn thing works. You're living in Mary Kay, okay? That's what's happening here, and I'm going to show you that. But we can turn this Mary Kay scam into our benefit. This is how it works. Watch.
Issues a bond. It steals prosperity out of the future so that it can spend it today. The Treasury then holds a bond auction, and the world's largest banks show up and compete to buy part of our national debt and make a profit on it by earning interest. You'll notice that as we move through this process, the big banks are there, taking a cut every step of the way. This isn't by chance, as you'll see shortly. Then, through a shell game called open market operations, the banks get to sell some of those bonds to the Federal Reserve at a profit. To pay for the bonds, the Federal Reserve opens up its big old checkbook and writes bad, bogus, counterfeit checks that should bounce because they're drawn on an account that always has a zero balance. There isn't one penny in there. To quote from the Boston Federal Reserve, when you or I write a check, there must be sufficient funds in our account to cover that check. But when the Federal Reserve writes a check, there is no bank deposit on which that check is drawn. When the Federal Reserve writes a check, it is creating money. The Fed then hands those checks to the banks, and at this point, currency springs into existence. The banks then take that currency and buy more bonds at the next Treasury auction. But what is a check? A check is also an IOU. When you write a check, you're making a note that says, here's my IOU for cash. All you have to do is go to the bank and pick it up. Now, it's very, very important that you understand this process because we're going to come back later and show you the devastating effect this has on you. The Treasury issues IOUs, bonds. The banks then buy those IOUs with currency. The Federal Reserve then writes IOUs, checks, and hands them to the banks in exchange for the Treasury's IOUs, the bonds. And currency is created. So what's really happening is the Federal Reserve and the Treasury are just swapping IOUs, using the banks as middlemen, and abracadabra, presto, currency magically springs into existence. This process repeats and repeats over and over again, enriching the banks and indebting the public by raising the national debt. The end result is that there's a buildup of bonds at the Federal Reserve and currency at the Treasury. This process is also where all paper currency comes from. The Federal Reserve and the government mistakenly call it base money because they didn't watch episode 1 of this series and they don't know the difference between money and currency. But I will correctly refer to it as base currency because it is not money. It is currency, and as we've learned, there is a big difference. Money has to be a store of value and maintain its purchasing power over long periods of time. We learned in episode 1 that earlier in our history, our paper currency was just a plain check. It was a representation for real money of intrinsic value, the gold and silver that was held on deposit at the Treasury. You could walk into any bank and slap your currency like credit IOU numbers are very different from base currency numbers because they only exist in computers. They are still currency. So now there is $190 in existence. Now the reason people take out loans from the banks is to buy something. They're going to buy a house or a car or something like that. So the borrower takes the $90 that the bank loaned to him from your account.
This is the MLM part.
And he pays the seller of the item. But then the seller deposits that currency into his account, and his bank loans out 90% of that and leaves bank credit numbers in its place. So now there's $271 in existence. This process repeats and repeats until under a 10% reserve ratio, an initial deposit of just $100 can create up to $1,000 of bank credit all backed by $100 of vault cash, just 10%. But as I said, reserve ratios vary wildly. On some deposits, it's 10%, on others, it's 3%, and on some forms of deposits, reserve requirements are 0. The result is that the expansion of the currency supply by the bank.
People, we have been lied to, been hustled. It's just a matter of, it's not waking up that I'm trying to get you to do. You woke up this morning. I'm trying to get you to accept the fact, but we need to get our country back. And so you're going to learn a lot of things like this. And, but serendipitously, we got to see Michael Maloney, and I'm running long on this video. I didn't want to do that, but we did. So, subscribe to this channel. It could be your only, I'm not kidding. You've heard this a million times, but I'm not bullshitting you. It could be your only ticket out. I know exactly what I'm doing. I know exactly what I'm doing. And we need you. We need you. This is Ramblin' Randy down here in the deep piney woods of East Texas, watching the southern perimeter. And remember this, once a person whom has been honestly mistaken all of their life learns the truth as you are now, they either cease to be mistaken and start speaking the real truth, or they cease to be honest. What say you? Ramblin' Randy. Go out tomorrow, create a wonder-filled day. It is by choice. Smile at a stranger. You never know when you're in the midst of angels. And I'll see you on the flip side. Ramblin' Randy, we down.